Hey boardies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon, so I'm bringing a review for the novel Terraforming Mars in the Shadow of Deimos. Now, as you can see, this is a very boxy style of book, quite similar to Ares Expedition, the follow-up to Terraforming Mars, literally following up to Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. So, what do I think of this novel? This is probably the 8th book I've now read by AmassGames, and Aconite Books is a publisher of books which bring world tie-in fiction to board games, and now I'm going to tell you about it. So I've got some notes here. It starts off quite slow. You're in Mars and it's the year 2316, and I find that not much is happening, so that's something to be aware of. It's a bit, we have to do this, the meals are bland, stuff like this. There's an asteroid crash, someone dies, it's a mystery, slightly adventure, I would say. The story really picks up in the second half, like the prior novel I did review, Pandemic, Patient Zero. There's a football, or a soccer ball, depending where you choose to pronounce that. And it's very detailed. There's a lot of detail going into here about Mars, stuff that I didn't know about, like fluorocarbons, which is like CFCs, they're greenhouse gases. It's very much like Terraforming Mars. You've got all those corporations. Even on the second page, in fact, Thorgate comes up. So all the corporations come up that you may recall, Ecoline and stuff like that. And if you see my solo playthrough for Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, I do talk about the fact I last played as Thorgate. So everything's in there about that. They're talking about, obviously, the minus 30 degrees Celsius, trying to reach 8 Celsius, and other bits and bobs around that too. There's no drafting, so I won't play Terraforming Mars anymore without drafting, and to be honest, I'm more likely just to play Ares Expedition these days. So there's not tie in that respect. There's a little bit relating to games as well. This is an award-winning book. It's by Jane Killick. It's been very enjoyable. The pages are quite short compared to, for example, Pandemic, Patient Zero, which were around 20 pages on average. Most of these Aconite books are around 10 pages. This is a bit lower than this. It's 40 chapters and about 350 pages. And I was reading, sometimes 3 chapters a day. It went pretty fast, easy to read, enjoyable. I like the characters, generally speaking. And there were some typos. There were about 6 to 7 grammatical mistakes where you had to reread a sentence, which obviously just throws you a bit, but it wasn't significant. I think of all the books so far, it ties with about the most, 6 or 7. Still very much enjoyable, and I'll definitely read another one if there's another one from Terraforming Mars. Lovely cover as well, which is very interesting. And yeah, it's an interesting story. I'm not sure what's going to happen if there would be another story. There's nothing really to indicate there would be from this particular novel. And yeah, I think if you like Terraforming Mars, I think you'll definitely enjoy this based on the characters. If you like characters in your board games, and I'm actually going to put on my BoardGamegeek profile my favourite characters just in the games that I've played. So this has been Terraforming Mars in the Shadow of Deimos, the smaller moon around, obviously, Mars. And I have already started on Last Resort. So I managed to get through 25 pages in under half an hour. And so far, I was worried it might be scary because I was reading at night time. But literally it's like, oh, the zombie comes out, splat. So it's actually quite nice. And I have read other books by Josh Reynolds. I read both of the books that he did for The Legend of the Five Rings. So they're very enjoyable as well. And I'm thinking of what to read next, but I do have a bunch of books over here to now consider what to go through afterwards. Probably thinking about Twilight Imperium follow-up, but that's yet to be decided. So what did you think so far? Let me know in the comments. Let me know, of course, check out the description. You can follow on Facebook, Instagram. There's obviously other things as well. There's Twitter. And please thumb up, please share, subscribe if you haven't already, hit the notification bell. Giveaways occasionally via Linktree, and speak to you again very soon. Back to the table.